when did black women become the figurehead of the feminist ideology? This overtly masculine portrayal of black women in mainstream movies is just not it for me. It's just not it. This idea that black women are so strong and independent that they don't need anybody, they don't need a man, is only perpetuating the same stigmas of broken homes and single parent households that we see today. And I believe that almost everything you see is meant to influence you on some type of subconscious level. But how about instead of all these fantasy movies and fictions and Greek mythology movies coming to life, how about we see something that's actually going to benefit people who are watching it? How about we see healthy dynamics of male-female relationships? How about we see balance?
We did not say it. She did. I'm telling you people, man. Some women are getting hip to it. And she is one of the ones that I believe finally got it. Or somebody who's always seen it.
This is the truth. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, they're trying to push this narrative that women don't need, black women don't need black men. And they're just trying to bring up the black family in general. Because a divided family is easy to take down.
True.
You know, me personally, like I said, first they got the black father out the home, obviously. You know, they basically paid women to kick black fathers out of the house. And now they're trying to solidify this idea that black women don't need black men and black men are just, you know what I'm saying, baggage that is not useful.
It seems like to me, they promote the most unnatural things to black women. In the movies, in the commercials, all the products that they sell, it's always the most unnatural. Everybody knows a black man and a black woman needs each other.
Of course.
I'm not saying that you can't date outside of your race or culture or whatever like that, but you notice that there's a particular way they want black women to date.
There's definitely an agenda as far as that, and you always see, for example, I think they did the new Dirty Dozens. It was Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union. Now, well, you know, you could look at it any way you want, but at the end of the day, I personally believe, you know, a black man and a black woman should be together. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. You know, you could date outside your race, whatever, and obviously anybody can find love anywhere.
True.
But I feel like there's a sort of effort to make sure that the black family does not stay whole. And that would obviously anger Dr. Umar Johnson.
Think about this for a second. When was the last time you saw a movie where the black woman and the black guy were really together or dating? Or a movie where they didn't try to put the black woman with another woman in the mix?
You also have the whole Tyler Perry, you know what I'm saying, ensemble where basically in most of his movies, and people are starting to realize that also, is that the black man and the black woman are either at odds, the black man is abusing the black woman or something like that. And it's like, it gets to a point where when can we see these healthy dynamics where a black man and a black woman are happy and raising a good family? Those dynamics are not really portrayed, and it's our fault, I say, because we need to, you know, put out that image. We can't allow other people to dictate our image.
That is true. When I see movies that have those hidden agendas, it completely turns me off. I don't want to see the film. I don't enjoy the story because I know what propaganda looks like. For most people that don't know, I do have a history in filmmaking, right? I went to film school. I love stories. I love seeing people act out scenes. I love positive messages being shared with people. And I noticed that there was just one message that they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, just to be very clear, I am a firm believer in reincarnation. I believe that your higher self chooses if you're gonna be a guy or a girl, and then you get to make whatever decisions you want in this life. But if you don't follow the path of what your higher self wanted, you'll simply reincarnate as the exact same thing that you rejected.
For me, you know, I feel like anytime there's a positive, you know, representation of a black family or just black love in general, it tends to be canceled and taken away. Obviously, a perfect example is Lovecraft Country. I love that show. That show is amazing. It had sci-fi, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm into the sci-fi stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's also a black man and a black woman, you know what I'm saying, sticking together through all these trials and tribulations. Very highly rated, very good show, and it gets one season, it gets canceled.
Again, it's just showing that they don't want to show a healthy relationship. For some reason, it's taboo to say that men and women should date, right? Not saying that anybody can't, you could date whoever you want to date. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that why is it wrong for black women to date black men? Why is it wrong for black women to be feminine and not shown as some like rough, tough action? Yeah, burly action hero. Why do you want to portray them as that?
And it wouldn't be an issue if I seen other, races, females be portrayed the same way. But
yeah.
It seems like a lot of times they really want to portray the black woman as that. But every other, race, they don't get portrayed like that. Obviously a very good movie was Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Great movie, obviously was in the theaters, got taken out and brought back to the theaters because of how good it was. But I watched the whole movie and none of the Asian women were portrayed as strong. Actually, it was a very family, type of movie. They showed the dynamic to a mother and a daughter and also the husband. So why can't we get a black film like that? Why can't we get a black portrayal of that? It just doesn't make any sense. So again, like I said, it falls back on us because we have to make those images. We understand that media dictates the time and it dictates how we're perceived as a whole. And if we need to take, control of ownership on how we're portrayed.
Now I will say this also, I noticed, or better yet, I realized that they kind of tore down the image of a black woman, right? The standards of beauty, they try to make it look like it's all European. They always make it seem like your hair wasn't good enough, so you have to change your hair. So for you to get a job, you have to have this type of style. So they kind of created a situation where they make all these groups envy other women, right? Then when they had black women vulnerable, they just pounced on them. They just made sure that everything is blasted towards them, like, you don't need men at all. Black guys, why would you even want a black guy around you? Like, all that started being pushed on them. And I realized as I watched the years go by, more and more black women started acting, weird.
For me, one of the saddest things too is we see that like black women tend to expect more of, their black men and not other races.
That is
like,
true.
I'll see a situation where I'll hear a girl talk about a black man and he has to be 6'4", muscular, super successful type of guy just to get an opportunity. But then you see him talking to another race and they're the bottom of the barrel or the barrel minimum of that race. It gets to a point where as black women and black men, we gotta, value each other. We gotta value ourselves. And there's definitely people who are fighting for that fight, but when we see black women, that actually get it, it's very good. We like seeing that there's certain people that actually do see where we're coming from.
It's always gonna be yin and yang. It's always gonna be the sun to our moon. You get what I'm saying? It's always gonna be a match made in heaven when we come together like that.
It's the perfect blend, At the end of the day, like, this is what, and we gotta get this straight. This is what usually happens. And for a long time, way before, social media and all that stuff, that's what usually happened. Black men were getting with black women, they were having a black family, and it was conducive and it worked. And then after, obviously birth control and social media and all these things that were used to influence the black woman, now black families are very non-existent. We got a lot of single mothers, and obviously if you look at statistics, single parent households bring out the most criminals, the most, serial offenders and all those things. So I want and we need the black family to be, restructured, and come back together.
Yeah, we really need to fix it some way, somehow. But you tell me how you feel about this situation in the comments section, and I'll see you on the next one.
Peace.